How's it going, everyone? I want to go over some PlayStation news and updates. The long-awaited, okay, it wasn't long-awaited by a lot of people, but Starfield is coming to PlayStation 5. I think all of us expected to arrive on PS5 at some point, and it looks like it'll be coming in 2026 alongside the Nintendo Switch 2 version, a Nintendo Switch 2 version, and Windows Central has a post on it that I do want to go over. I am really questioning why Starfield has this much emphasis put on it. Maybe it's something that they can revitalize and they see a lot of potential in, but I just think the ship has sailed with Starfield, and I just think it's better to move on at this point, but we'll talk all about it, I guess. With it coming to PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch 2, maybe they view it as an opportunity to garner a lot of interest in the game, but I feel like with a game like this, look, there was a significant amount of people that played it on PC. It's a new IP, the opinions already kind of been put in place on it, and I didn't hate Starfield, but again, we'll talk all about it. Starfield has gotten some updates, and apparently Starfield's next DLC was shown off behind closed doors recently. Big upgrades to space travel and a PlayStation 5 version have been detailed. The game's first DLC, Shattered Space, came out a while ago. That was received not too well, let's just put it that way, and then back in March, there was a teasing done by Tim Lamb of Bethesda noting, I can't go into all of the details just yet, but I will say part of the team has been focused on space gameplay to make the travels there more rewarding. We're also adding some new game systems and a few other small delights. And then Jez Corden from Windows Central also noted that he saw a post from Luke Stephens on X that crystallized rumors. I'd been hearing that Bethesda recently had an event behind closed doors to showcase some of its plans for Starfield. He noted that he's spoken to a few people with first and second-hand knowledge to try to get a glimpse of what we can expect. As rumored, it seems that Starfield will break free of its loading screen heavy space flight systems. That's awesome. That was a huge issue when I initially played the game. Space flight will now feel more freeform and continuous if the rumors are accurate, and various other systems pertaining to space travel and exploration will be improved as well. Bethesda's got a lot of things that they are working on at this point. Elder Scrolls 6 development is continuing on, and now you have Starfield getting upgraded, and there are rumblings that they have more titles in development. But as far as Starfield is concerned, it was noted by Corden, I've heard some conflicting opinions on some of these Starfield rumors, so it's worth taking them with a pinch of salt. One conflict pertains to the scale of the upgrade too. Some of my sources have sought to downplay how much of an overhaul it could be, shying away from claims that it'll be a Cyberpunk 2.0 moment for the game. Others who attended the event, reportedly led by Todd Howard himself, were far more upbeat about the content being offered. Okay, here is the difference between Cyberpunk 2077 and Starfield. Cyberpunk 2077, I will agree, had a lot of issues at launch, but it was a continuous optics change for that game leading into the 2.0 launch for Cyberpunk 2077. Is that the case for Starfield? Has there been an optic shift from this game since 2023 where people are coming out and the narrative of this game is shifting to, oh yeah, it was bad at launch, but it's getting better now and it's a worthwhile game now? Look, I didn't hate Starfield at launch, but let's pull it up. Why don't we pull up this game's Steam reception on Steam right now and how the game is received. Okay, all-time reviews, 82,000 Steam user reviews, 57% positive. Recent reviews, which would be the reviews in the last 30 days, actually have it fall to 54% positive. So if anything, the reception has gotten worse if we took the Steam reviews into account. If you remember with Cyberpunk 2077, even before 2.0 dropped, the narrative was beginning to shift with that game after the consistent updates, and 2.0 came out in 2023, so that was 3 years after the game, but we're already 2 years and change removed from Starfield, and the narrative of how this game is viewed really hasn't shifted all too much. I don't think there's a lot more you could do in terms of making a Cyberpunk level comeback. I don't think that's in the cards for Starfield. Now, is it gonna sell okay on PlayStation? Yeah, probably. However, on launch day, even if there's a significant update with Starfield, and let me know how you guys feel about it for the general audience. Would you spend $70 for Starfield if it included, let's say, Shattered Space with it, okay? We'll give you Shattered Space at $70. Maybe the base game will be $60, and then there will be a deluxe edition. What I really think is gonna be is I think the base game is gonna be like $60, and then if you want all the content with Shattered Space and maybe the second DLC, they'll do some sort of deluxe edition with fake early access, and that'll be, I don't know, it's not gonna be $70, it's gonna be more than $70 for all the content, $80, $90, whatever the case may be. Let's just say, would you even spend $60 on the base Starfield game? I think most people wouldn't. I just don't think people are looking to spend $60 on Starfield. And again, unlike Cyberpunk, there hasn't been that narrative shift. Now, if the second DLC comes out and it's this incredibly well-received DLC, okay, maybe, but it's like, bro, we already got one DLC. Shattered Space wasn't received all too well. Now you're talking about a second DLC, and you're talking about the potential of a big update, and, you know, they're downplaying it as far as what kind of big update. I don't think, even if we're even talking about the potential of a 2.0 level update for Cyberpunk, I just can't imagine that would be in the cards, because Cyberpunk, again, had this shift in its optics for the years leading into 2.0, into 2021, into 2022. You saw the shift with Cyberpunk 2077 gradually happening, and if you want to talk about recently, Cyberpunk 2077's all-time reviews, 358,000 reviews at 88% positive. Its recent reviews, it's had 9,200 reviews, and it's at 94% positive. So with that, you can tell that the narrative of this game has shifted quite a lot, and you can see positive reviews coming in for Cyberpunk. Like, they have this graph on Steam. You know, the positive reviews started coming in very early on. I mean, even when the game came out, it had 277,000 positive reviews at 78% positive, and then the negative reviews were 22% of those reviews on its launch month, but then it continued to gradually increase. It saw a spike in positive reviews in November of 2021. Just look at things like that. The Cyberpunk 2077 optics shift didn't happen overnight, and with Starfield, it's been 2 years and change since the release of that game, and has the narrative of that game shifted at all? The first expansion came out and it wasn't received all too well, and now you're talking about a potential second update. Now, again, Corden noted that they were downplaying it, how much of an overhaul it could be, shying away from the claims that it'll be a Cyberpunk 2.0 moment for the game. But if that rhetoric is even out there that it could be a 2.0 moment for the game or some sort of optic shift, you just have to look at the fact that, again, with Cyberpunk and a lot of these other games that have had those narrative shifts, it happens over the course of years, but you can see that trickling in quite a lot with the consecutive updates that do roll out. I just feel like I haven't seen that with Starfield, and I don't know if that's going to be in the cards for them to have that level of a shift just with a PS5 launch. I think some people, if they check out the game and they go into it with very tempered expectations, they'll be like, okay, I ended up enjoying that game because the word is already out about it online. People already know that this isn't this breakout title for Bethesda or one of Bethesda's best games, so anybody that does buy it will probably go into it with lesser expectations, and they might be like, hey, I kind of enjoyed that game. I enjoyed Starfield. Like, I didn't think it was this terrible game, but relative to some of the other Bethesda games, yeah, I wouldn't put it anywhere near a Skyrim or a Fallout 3. But is there fun to be had? Sure. Is there fun to be had for a $60 or $70 price point? That's where you lose me a little bit. I think the price point is the key on this, and I don't see them, just based on all of the other Microsoft games coming out on PlayStation, they generally don't go with a cheaper price point. They go with Forza Horizon 5 at $60, Indiana Jones at $70. Like, these games don't come out on a delay at a cheaper price point. Hell, even Hellblade 2 released at $50, so I think that's an issue in its own right. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Interested to hear from you. Sound off with your thoughts below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.